Hello and good morning. I'm Nate, and I'm really excited to be sharing the project and experiences that I've had over the past 2 weeks working with Palantir's AIP system. To kind of kickstart my presentation, I want to talk about the problem that I'm solving, which is categorizing transactions. And to go more into depth in this, this is very personal to me because about a year and a half ago, when my wife and I got married, we wanted to find a good solution to managing our finances, especially while we are on a low income and in college. We tried a bunch of budgeting apps, but the number one issue we had was personalization. We were unable to organize our spending in ways that met our needs. And after talking to many peers and friends and family members, I realized that this is a common issue, and that's why there are so many budgeting apps currently in the App Store. And so for the past year and a half, I've been working on my own budgeting app to try to tackle this issue. And it's called Simple Finances. And so if we go over here, you can see what I've been making using a React Native platform. And so what it does is when you log in, it pulls all your transactions from the Plaid banking API and uses an LLM to categorize the transactions. So when I started working on the AIP project, I wanted to see if I could replicate and solve this issue using Palantir's infrastructure. And so the solution was to use a pipeline to transform the data and then use AIP's embeddings system to do a semantic search on nearby transactions and categorize them for future usage. And so here is a little demo. If we come over here, this is the dashboard that I was able to create all from Palantir's system. So I used the SDK for this React app. I'm calling a code function that is hosted in my project, and a few other things that I'll show later. But all this does, it's pretty simple, is it allows me to choose a user, which is me, look at all of my recent transactions and how they group by category. So you can see like bills, I've spent about $4,000. I've transferred about $4,000 to other accounts. I've had income, Venmo, entertainment is about $265, shopping, and things like that. And I can also go through and page through the ontology object using the SDK to see all of my recent transactions. Where AI with AIP gets really powerful here is the adding a new transaction. So for example, let's add a new transaction, which is movie theater. And let's just say $20. And I'll put this on my Discover account. We can do a semantic search to try to categorize this transaction. And it did a really good job. It predicted date night as a category, which would be a really good option. And so it did really good here. We'll just choose the date, put in my name, and add the transaction. Oh, formatting issue. And voila, it is now added to my object and the transaction is added to my system. In fact, we should be able to see it here as my most recent transaction. So there is a quick demo of how Palantir has actually streamlined this entire process. Under the hood, we have this pipeline, which really saved so much time. I pulled a lot of static CSVs of my spending data and joined them, did some processing, generated the text embeddings, formatted things, and then put an output object to the Palantir ontology manager, which was really awesome because it allowed me to access it in different places of the app. Here is the TypeScript function that I had to generate, which does a semantic search, like mentioned earlier, on the description, finds nearby transactions, and tries to predict the category. And so there's a quick little demo. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the future of where this could go, given this was only 2 weeks worth of work during finals in school. So obviously, there wasn't an unlimited amount of time that I was able to put into this. But this project has shown a lot of promise and has proven with an MVP that this is solvable with Palantir's system, which is really awesome. Some things I would do to improve it is using Palantir's webhooks to connect to my REST API built in Python. I'd probably build an integrated chatbot feature where a user could ask questions about their spending and just add a little bit more of a dynamic usage and then build out a full-fledged app. Obviously, would be the long term. Um, but all in all, I will say that I've learned a lot about Palantir's system, just how powerful the system is at gathering, processing, organizing, and displaying data in meaningful ways that help people like me, college students, manage their finances every single day. My wife loves it. My family loves it. All my friends have really enjoyed trying it out and seeing how it works. And so, yeah, there's my presentation. Thank you so, so much.